Got some more KJK VIP Prizepicks WNBA and Prizepicks MLB player props for you on the channel today, guys. This one going to be breaking down the process, giving you guys a free KJK VIP slip. Same process that went into these plays that you're seeing on the screen yesterday. I hope that everybody had a fantastic July 4th, Independence Day, besides Kayla McBride. Man. All we needed was for this woman to go out there for the last 2 minutes and not do anything, and she proceeds to pull up from three with like 30 seconds left to go over her fantasy score and hook us. Again, this has been occurring over the last week or so over in the VIP. The hit rate's been fantastic. The picks have been going very well, but there just seems to be that one person that doesn't want to show up or shows up too much. I gave away back-to-back 5-1 plays on the channel prior to the last video that I gave out. Yesterday, the slate was a little bit crazy with the start times because of the July 4th. Baseball was starting like midday, then later, so it was tough to get content out. But I'm back with this one. If you're new to the channel, first of all, these videos have not been getting over 100 likes. There's thousands of people watching it. That's absurd. Get this thing over 100 likes, please. It's free. It takes 2 seconds to do. I'm giving you actual plays that I'm playing myself. I'm breaking them down. If you are sick of coming on the channel and there's plays bumped every single day, etc., I cannot control that. That's going to happen, unfortunately. But what I can do is share my process, explain exactly what goes into it, and try to teach something. And then if you want to get access to all my plays as soon as I place them, get the VIP. You're going to get sent them as soon as I place them. So I sent this in yesterday. 4-star 1-unit play. I came up with a 5-star system just to show how many units I'm playing. We all have different units. It doesn't matter if you're playing $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever the case may be. We're all locking in, having the same process. We're all trying to 25x our money on these tickets, so everybody starts different. All that matters is we're winning together. You're multiplying your money and you're being smart with your bankroll. So that's kind of a little bit of an introductory to my Discord of stuff I talk about. That's why I have this system. But yeah, you get access to all my plays as soon as I place them over there. And all I'm doing on these videos is I'm coming on, I'm giving you a play that I'm playing. Once again, I'm actually playing myself. I'm setting over, and then I'm breaking down everything that goes into it. So one, I can provide free value. Two, you can kind of, get to know me, know that I know what I'm talking about, see the results of the picks. And yeah, that's pretty much the case, man. Hopefully win everybody a bunch of money. That's the goal, right? Teach people how to win long-term, win people money with my picks, give you an actual breakdown that I'm not just clicking random buttons that I know I'm talking about. That's the goal with these videos. I don't think there's a better way to show you that I know what I'm talking about than coming on the channel and breaking down actual plays that I'm playing, actual plays that I'm locking in, and then you can see the results for yourself. So if you haven't signed up for Prizepicks, go ahead and sign up today, guys. Use the promo code KJKDFest, my link down below in the description. They're going to match you up to $100 with that promo code. So you put in $100, they're going to give you $100 in site credit. You can use that to play these plays that I break down today. So let's go ahead. Let's get into it. This is my second ticket that I locked in today over in the VIP, so we'll just go play by play, break it down for you. And we got 3 MLB plays for you today, and we got 3 WNBA plays, which I know will make people happy. I know people have been asking for WNBA content, etc., so you're going to get a little bit of a spice of both. We'll start things off with the MLB, just because they're first on my slip here, and we're going to be talking about 3 guys for the Kansas City Royals. We'll start things off with the pitcher and Cole Reagans, who gets a fantastic matchup here today, taking on the Colorado Rockies, who strike out a ton. I'm expecting him to have a big K performance here. He is a -180 favorite. That's not really going to matter when it comes to strikeout props, the prop we're going to discuss here today. But the Rockies strike out a ton, and Cole Reagans is an elite strikeout pitcher, most notably versus right-handed hitting. On the season, he has over a 30% K rate. That is elite stuff, guys. Anytime you're talking 30% or higher, for those of you that don't know baseball, I'll keep it real simple for you. The best of the best, you're talking 30% or higher. Okay, so like this guy is elite, the best of the best of the best at striking out hitters from the right-handed side of the plate. Over the last 30 days, these Colorado Rockies are striking out a ton. This is the strikeout column. You can see a lot of red. That is bad for them, good for the pitcher. 30% K rate for Tovar, 25% for Rogers, 37.5 for McMahon. You got Diaz and Doyle in the 4 and 5 spot that are not striking out a lot, but then the rest of the lineup, 39%, 32%, 33%, 25%. If we want a larger sample size, we can look at the entire season's numbers. It's the same story. Outside of Rogers, who only has a 14% K rate, 30%, 30%. The same thing I just said about the starting pitching with a 30% or higher, you can say about the hitting as far as like being just terrible. Like 30% or worse is, we talked about that being elite for 30% or better for the pitching. 30% or worse for hitting is like really bad. So you put the two together, you got the 32% or higher K rate for the pitcher, and you got the 30% or higher K rate for hitters. The opportunity to get strikeouts in this matchup is just going to be really good. 28, 33, 40, 23 at the bottom. So you get the point. Over the last 30 days, Reagan's has actually ticked that all the way up to a 35.6% K rate versus right-handed bats. So he's got elite stuff. And then the other thing is he's got a really long leash, which we love. The pitch count's fantastic for this guy. The modern day MLB, sometimes these coaching staffs, they're not going to let guys go like 100 pitches. They want to make sure their arm stays healthy throughout the season. They're going to pull them at, 90 pitches, 85 pitches, some of these guys. Reagan's is not one of those guys. He's a rarity of, a workhorse in today's MLB. You can see 108 pitches, 102 pitches, 102, 107. So elite matchup, elite strikeout guy, and elite leash. Like, we're not worried about him getting pulled at 80 pitches with only, 7 strikeouts, and the manager comes out for no reason. We know he's going to go out there and throw a solid, realistically 100 plus pitches. So there's a lot of really good things going here for play number 1 for Cole Reagans, and it will be his over 7.5 strikeouts. Okay, so he'll be the first guy we're talking about here. Broke it down for you, elite matchup, elite K stuff. It doesn't get much better than this. Do expect that he probably will get bumped up at some point, which is just going to happen when you get good value, but I really like that play for play number 1. 2 and 3. If you've been tuning into my content, I've been talking about this like every video, it seems, but we're back in Coors Field. Typically, not every single day there's going to be a game in Colorado, but there's been a lot of games in Colorado lately. This game will be played in Colorado. The Kansas City Royals have a 5.71 implied total, and I'm going to be targeting the away team in Coors Field again here tonight. It's just, it's the best hitting environment in baseball. I sound like a broken record if you're someone that's tuning into my content a lot. But, like, I can't say it enough how big of a deal this is. When you're getting road teams in Coors, like, this is crazy good to hit in. There's not many other ballparks. There's no other ballpark that's as good as this in the entire MLB. Like, it's just the best. It's, arcade type stuff here. Home run derby type stuff of a hitting environment. Green, 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 green for singles, doubles, triples. The outfield's massive. The field dimensions are massive. Colorado has, the best hitting weather this time of year. It's 83 degrees, 8 miles an hour. As far as the temperature, the ball carries because of the elevation in Colorado. And then last but certainly not least, the Colorado Rockies pitching staff sucks. So, these teams come on the road. They get the guaranteed top of the 9th inning at bats. For those of you that are new to baseball, in the 9th inning, if you're the home team and you're winning and you get the other team out, you're not going to hit in the bottom of the 9th. When you're the away team, it doesn't matter what the score is. You're going to have to hit the top of the 9th no matter what, and then the home team's going to have the opportunity to come back in the bottom of the 9th, right? So being that Kansas City is on the road, they're going to get a ton of at-bats. They have a 5.71 implied total. Like, I mean, these guys have the ability to probably get like 6, 7 at-bats. You're just not going to get this every single day. So when you have that kind of upside, we got to target it. And Kyle Freeland is a guy that has been pretty decent on the season. I got to give him credit. The numbers have looked better, especially over the last 30 days. But, he's traditionally very bad versus righties. He's giving up a 171 isolated power metric and a 389 weighted on base average this season. And he only has a 10% K rate versus right-handed bats. So he doesn't miss bats. The ball's being put in play. It's being hit for average. You could certainly make the argument that those numbers are going to be looking worse because he's a Colorado Rockies pitcher that has to pitch in Coors Field all the time. That'd be a valid argument. But, hey, here we are again. So, he's back in his home confines that are not friendly. And he has to take on the Kansas City Royals, who I will say on the season, their numbers aren't looking the greatest versus lefties, but they don't strike out. They're putting the ball in play. And the two guys we're going to talk about are traditionally elite versus left-handed pitching. Bobby Witt Jr. is arguably the best hitter in the MLB. I mean, you got Ohtani, obviously. You got Aaron Judge. I would say Bobby Witt's right there for those of you that aren't familiar with him. He's on the Royals, so he's not as popular of a name probably in a smaller market team, but he's got a 361 weighted on base average, only a 15.3% K rate. And what I really like about him is in the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format, guys, we get 5 points for every stolen base. This guy's a stolen base menace. We're talking about the 5th top guy in the entire MLB with 22 stolen bases. So he hits for average. He's got a ton of speed, can absolutely wheel on the base paths. He hits for power. And he's in Coors Field. Last but not least, I'll say it again, the Rockies bullpen stinks, man. So, they're going to have to take on the starting pitcher, and then in baseball, they're going to bring in that bullpen, right? The guys behind him. And the Colorado Rockies have the second worst bullpen in the league, actually. Funny enough, the Royals have the worst bullpen, so they're both in this game. 4.59 xFIP for the Rockies. So the bullpen stinks. Freeland doesn't miss bats. The Royals have a good lineup. Bobby Witt Jr. has a ton of stolen base upside. I mean, once again, the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format, guys, you're getting 3 points for every single, 5 points for every double, 8 for every triple, 10 for home runs, 2 for runs, 2 for RBIs, 2 for base on balls, 2 for hit by pitch, and then you get 5 for those stolen bases. So let's say Bobby Witt, hits a leadoff single. That's 3. Steals second base. He's already up to 8. Somebody hits him in. He's already at 10 fantasy points. All he did was hit a single, steal a bag, and score a run. And then he's going to get probably, like I said, I'm anticipating a lot of at-bats here. If you pull up his last 5 game logs, you're going to see a lot of green. This really means nothing to me. Every matchup's different. But it does just show you Bobby Witt's elite, man. I mean, this guy is, he's him. He's that guy, so... certainly like him. The other thing I didn't bring up for the first play in Cole Reagans, and we can talk about it here with Salvador Perez as well, is I do like to look at market data. So I do use 2 different tools for that. The first one's going to be the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, guys. Would highly recommend you check out both these tools I'm going to discuss, because these are, the tools that I'm using every day to detect value. The first one's the DGF Optimizer. You can see all of these markets. There's millions of dollars of sports books data invested into this. For those of you that are new to sports betting, this minus number, if you're wondering what that means, it means they're favored to go over. So you can see over 7.5 strikeouts. He's all the way to minus 155 on Flip. For those of you that are new to sports betting, what that means is you're going to have to risk $155 to win $100, essentially. Okay, so when it's minus, it means the prop is favored on the over or the under. You can see in this case it is favored on the over. And they're saying it's so likely that Cole Reagans is going to go over 7.5 strikeouts. We're going to make you risk 155 to win 100, right? You're going to risk more than you're going to win because it's more likely. They have advanced models, millions of dollars dumped into this, all the underlying metrics and stuff I've discussed. The books know it, and they set lines appropriately. So this can really help you find good props. This tool is going to streamline all of that millions of dollar data in, and you can detect value, okay? So that's one tool that I like for market data, and the other one's going to be the OddsJam sportsbook screen. They have an optimizer as well, guys, that'll do the same thing. I just am being honest as to when I pull up OddsJam, I really like the sportsbook screen. Me personally, you can use their optimizer as well, but we can look at every single sportsbook. I mean, he's minus 133 on the over on Pinnacle, minus 135 on the over on DraftKings, and we're getting a live feed in real time of all of these different lines changing. If you play on Sleeper, he's all the way up to minus 147 over there. We're getting minus 119 implied odds. On Underdog Fantasy, you can see he's actually already been bumped up to 8 even. That's another thing you want to be looking at. What are these other fantasy apps pricing him at? So he's already been bumped up. And then, I mean, some of these markets are just ripping his over here. You can see 888 Sport, minus 158 on the over. You got Bet99, minus 150 on the over. So we just have all of these different data points telling us that the over is the right play. I want as many data points telling me that the play that I'm on is the best play. This is all stuff, I have systems, processes baked in. I'm looking at all this stuff. It might be overwhelming. That is why I do offer the VIP service. But if you're someone that likes to do your own research, I would highly recommend the OddsJam tools. I would highly recommend the DGF tools. I will have links down below in the description. For both of these, promo code KJKDFS will get you a nice discount on both. These will be helpful tools to help you find best value in the market quickly, okay? So check those out. So with that being said, the next play is going to be Salvador Perez, which kind of brought to my attention that I hadn't brought up the DGF Optimizer or OddsJam because, that was part of my process of these plays. If we pull up the DGF Optimizer again, Salvador Perez, the over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, we're going to see once again that's his best prop on the entire board. And why is that? Because they're pulling in data from DraftKings, BetMGM, BetOnline, Bovada, and Flip. He sees all the way up to minus 135 on BetOnline, minus 135 on the over on Bovada. These markets are telling us there's a high likelihood that he's going to go over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. They're factoring in, all the underlying metrics that I'm discussing throughout this content. I'm double checking everything, but these books know it all, okay, guys? So Salvador Perez is expected to hit in the 4 spot. He's traditionally a left-handed hitter masher. you know, with that 5.71 implied total. Is it still at that? Is there an update on that by the chance? Maybe it's gone up or down or something. Yeah, see, now it's all the way to 5.99. The line's going up. So once again, all these books with all that data, they're saying like Royals are going to be putting up some runs tonight. So we're getting some good correlation with Bobby Witt and Salvador Perez, because if the Royals are doing good, their entire lineup up and down, guys are getting on base. Salvador Perez and Bobby Witt are hitting them in. They're getting more at-bats. All right, so it's smart to be putting both of these guys on our ticket. That's the other smart part of this ticket construction that we're discussing here with those two guys. So anyways, that's going to be the first 3 plays in this ticket that I just locked in, that I sent over to the VIP. That's the MLB portion. Now we're going to switch on over to the WNBA, where I do like Tina Charles, Angel Reese, and Jewel Lloyd's over here tonight. We can break down exactly why I like these ladies. Switch on over to the WNBA board. Tina Charles plays for the Atlanta Dream, who are dealing with many injuries right now, which is going to increase her usage in a big way here. So Tina Charles, you can see the Atlanta Dream are going to be without Jordan Canada, Ryan Howard, and Aerial Powers. So 3 key players in the rotations have gone down with injuries. Basketball, when that happens, you know, the other players, the best players in the rotation, are going to have to step up. That's going to be Alicia Gray, most notably, and Tina Charles. They're going to be the 2 ladies that are the star players now, essentially, with these injuries. If we look at the rotation lately for these ladies, as far as Atlanta is concerned, you're going to see Tina Charles' minutes are starting to climb up here. Last game, she got all the way up to 34 minutes. She was playing like, 28, 30, 22, 29 early in the season. Even dipped down to like 19, 16 in some games. Last game, 34 minutes. I think we're going to start to see them really rely on her heavily here. And she gets a phenomenal matchup against this opposing Dallas Wings team that ranks 11th of 12 versus opposing starting centers, as far as giving up these fantasy points in the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format. I got FanDuel projections loaded up. It's the same scoring format as Prizepicks. So there's a lot of different things pointing to Tina Charles being able to have a really big game here tonight. I do have her projected to go. I mean, I've got multiple projection models really high on her. You can see Dallas is giving up 31.7 fantasy points per game. They're giving up 5.1 field goals per game, and that's going to be a pace-up matchup for Tina Charles. If we look at the top pace teams in the entire league, once again, this is going to be a game played between the Atlanta Dream and the Dallas Wings. Dallas, as far as their pace, they are the 6th fastest pace team in the league with a 96.8 pace metric. If we look at the Atlanta Dream, they're all the way down to 10th. So that's going to help anytime they're playing a team that plays at a higher pace. They're going to get a pace-up matchup. She'll get more opportunities, more chances to be able to go out there and perform and put up some fantasy points. So yeah, fantastic matchup for her. We can certainly pull up her game logs and see how she's getting the job done. And this is going to reflect the usage increase that I discussed. I mean, the minutes are up. You look at her early games, right? Look at the field goal attempts. She shot 21 times last time. Once again, this team's banged up. Only like 7, 14, 13 shots here in the early going of the season, which makes sense. When you have other players on the court that you're sharing time with, like a Ryan Howard, who's a heavy usage player, a heavy shot volume player. Like Ryan Howard's taking the most shots if she's in the game on this team. Naturally, we're going to start to see more usage for Tina Charles. So, I mean, she took 21 shots last time. You add in the 1 block and the 1 steal here. She's got all the way to 4 steals here. Similar to what I talked about with stolen bases for the MLB. Blocks and steals are the big bonus in the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format for WNBA guys, because you get 3 points for those. So 1 point for every point, 1.2 for the rebounds, 1.5 for the assists, 3 points for those blocks and steals. So kind of simple, like how I talked with Bobby Witt, how you get 5 fantasy points for every steal that you can rack up. Every block and steal in basketball is a big deal as well. So I got multiple projection models saying Tina Charles is going to put up like 40 fantasy points tonight. So, I mean, she's massively underpriced here. I think she gets, maybe like 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 fantasy points, all of which are going to clear this over 33.5. So she's a phenomenal prop here for the 4th play on this ticket. All right, so number 5 and 6 is going to be these 2 ladies in Angel Reese and Jewel Lloyd. We're going with the over 34.5 fantasy score for Reese, the over 36 fantasy score here for Jewel Lloyd, and we'll break down exactly why I like those. Once again, I mean, it's going to be a pretty good pace game. Both ladies, high minutes, high usage players. We could talk about the Chicago side first for Angel Reese. Like, no surprise, she's going to play a heavy allotment of minutes. If I'm playing a player's over, we want her to be out there on the floor for a lot of minutes. That's all factored into the projections and where these players are priced, but it's just common sense. Angel Reese is all the way up to, she's the top minutes player on the team by far, 36, 35, 36 minutes in competitive games. And she, once again, gets a great matchup. This game comes in with a 161.5 over under. It is a 10-point spread, but Angel Reese, she's the best matchup on her team. Seattle is ranked 10 of 12th against starting forwards. Jewell Loyd, fantastic matchup as well. The Chicago Sky are ranked 9th of 12th against opposing guards here as far as slowing them down as far as fantasy points. And I got both these ladies going over by a pretty sizable margin. The pace of these two teams, Seattle Storm, the second fastest paced team in the league. Chicago Sky, the fourth fastest paced team in the league. Going to be a great game environment to be targeting overs. We want steal, block upside, full-rounded players, right? Blocks, steals, points, rebounds, assists. As many of those stat stuffer statistics we can get out of these ladies, that's what we want. That's all factored into my projections. But, all three that we're discussing here are going to fit that bill. Angel Reese, look at her game logs here. She's phenomenal on the glass. I think everyone knows that at this point. 19 rebounds last time, 12 points, the 2 blocks. 10 points, 16 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks, like 5 steals and 5 steals here in these 2 games. Her upside is just crazy, playing at the forward position, grabbing all those rebounds, scoring buckets. And then the matchup's going to be phenomenal for her as well, as I stated. But, it's just like, what more could you ask for here? Seattle's given up 38.7 fantasy points per game, 9.3 rebounds, 7 field goals. Like, everything's kind of matching up here. Talked about the pace-up matchup, right? And then I've got multiple projection models. High on Tina Charles, high on Angel Reese. I got these ladies going out there. They're both going to put up upper 30s as far as I'm concerned. They're priced in the mid to low 30s. It's just an underprice, right? So, I got, Tina Charles is priced at 33.5. I think she's going to put up like 36 plus. The same can be said for Angel Reese, 36. Is right about where I'd have both of them. And then 37, 38, 39 is just icing on the cake. I think they can both get up to there. And then Jewell Loyd, same exact thing. She's really started to step up finally. She started off the season terrible. She's one of the best shooters in the entire WNBA. You knew it wasn't going to last forever. She could not make a single shot. But now she's starting to turn it on. She can rack up the steals at the guard position. 3 steals, 2 steals the last 2 times out. You can see 30, 34, 26. The assists, the 5 assists, 3 assists. This is going to be a great matchup for her all around. Already pulled up the stats there. Like I said, as far as the opponent, they're 9th best out of 12 teams. And it's the matchup, the pace. We already kind of discussed all these things. And once again, the underlying metrics are all saying, like, Chicago's just giving up a ton of points to her position. They're giving up 36.2 fantasy points per game, and they're giving up 5.5 assists per game. These are all going to be great things for her to go out there and excel. Once again, we would prefer for her to play as many minutes as possible. That's all factored in the projection, but, we need her to play minutes. She has a ceiling of getting all the way up to 37 minutes. The minutes have been down for all of these Seattle Storm players lately. It's just because they've been involved in so many blowouts, like 95 to 71 in this most recent game, 97 to 76, 72 to 61. These games are a little more close. Jewell Loyd, though, she's going to be one of the top candidates for the top minutes, 37, 34, 37 minutes. So that's obviously all factored into my projections. And it's the same thing. She's priced up a little bit higher than the other 2 ladies we discussed, but I've got her, pegged for more like the 38, 39 range. Like, I think all these ladies go out there and score around 40 fantasy points, essentially, is what I'm getting at. Factoring in the matchup, the pace, all of these fun things that I factor into my projections. It's all looking really, really good here for these 3 ladies. So that'll be the full 6-pick flex that I did lock in, that I did send over to my VIP members here, that I just, this is my second 6-pick flex. So if you want to get access to all my plays as soon as I place them, once again, guys, similar to, everything that I just broke down in this video was the same process that went into these plays. I'm just coming on, breaking them down, explaining them to you. Before these games start, you can get a full kind of analysis of all that goes into my process. Unfortunately, plays are going to get bumped like crazy. That's just kind of what happens when you get good value on these apps. But if you're looking to step your game up and get access to all my plays as soon as I place them, join one of the best communities. Our community is fantastic. Like, I love my members in there, man. We're helping each other. They take what I preach, they listen, they learn, and then help others. So it's a great place to be if you're looking to learn, not only for myself, other people that have been in my Discord for a long time. You know, they say who you surround yourself with, who's going to be like. You know, if you want to surround yourself with the people that you want to be like, this is a package with a ton of people in there helping each other out. There's no negative nonsense. I get a lot of good feedback of people coming in and saying they enjoy my community compared to others, because it's one goal. We're all helping each other out, looking to win on these apps. Okay, that's what it's about around here. So that's all for me in this one. Wishing you guys all the best of luck. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell before you exit. Like I said at the beginning, we should be getting 100 plus likes in these videos very easily. It's free content. I'm coming on and giving you actual plays. I'm giving you actual breakdowns. You came to the right spot if you're looking for free value on how to succeed at these apps. So that's all for me in this one. Wishing you all the best of luck on your Prizepicks WNBA player props, your Prizepicks MLB player props tonight, and we will see you in the next one.